paralleling our ministry in the church there in Guilford was the work we did for the mission, which after all was the main reason we'd gone there. And the main task before us was to find a place for the international headquarters. So one of the guys came over and worked with me a little bit on that. We made a trip or two. The leader of the mission himself came, and we made a couple of trips together to look at sites around the London area in general. And finally, we came upon one that was near Oxford, and the headquarters for the mission decided eventually to move there and set up there. But it took a while to find that. For several months, we were searching, and in addition to that, we were able to find a couple who, as it turns out, were friends of the general director. But Connie and I interviewed them, and they became the UK directors for the mission. In addition to that, we were able to facilitate the sending of a young couple to North Africa, and then a single fellow as well to another country. So that was fulfilling in that regard. And finally, it got set up to where a contract was made, and then the way was made forward for the other for the rest of the team, international headquarters team, to come over. But for a long while, it was just Connie, myself, and our girls for almost 2 years. That was the case. Now it was good to find that and get that settled. And then in the meantime, what we would do is I would send over I call it the fortnightly. So I give every 2 weeks, every fortnight, I would give a report to the office, to email a report back, answer any questions, and tell them what we were doing and what we'd found or not found. And I also included some vocabulary, knowing that every single one of the ones that I was writing were going to eventually come over. And so I thought, well, I might as well learn some of the terminology ahead of time. So I gave them one about meter maids being called predators, more serious ones in terms of, cookies or biscuits, that kind of stuff, and French fries or chips. Wait, chips. Anyway, yeah, chips or French fries. Anyway, so we began to, kind of give some cultural orientation that way in a fun way. And a couple of them came over and visited during this time as well. So that was really a really, really wonderful experience to be a part of the moving of that headquarters and the whole what that meant in terms of the dynamic of the mission, getting a UK director and sending some initial British couples and singles out, and then finding the place for the home office. That was a great feeling to have that accomplished. In addition to that, I made several trips, and I'm going to talk about those coming up here. I revisited Turkey, went to Yemen, a couple other trips at Bangladesh, returned there, and I want to talk about those. So the the, the base in England was really working well for us, and the girls were happy, and we were happy. It was a great place to live. It's really the only place we've ever moved from that Connie goes, really? We have to move from here? It was just a really, really good place to live. We had a lot of good fellowship. The church was great. And it was just really, really going well. And it was during this time that I'm going to talk about what kind of prompted us to actually leave the UK and to go to Egypt. There was a vision that I had, a dream in the middle of the night. I'll talk about that, but that was a very fulfilling period of time. Not very long, 2 years. But also at the end of that time, Karen graduated from high school and was heading off to the United States to go to college and enter into nursing school. So that was a great transition anyway. It was, those 2 years were finishing, and the Lord just put all that together in a rather marvelous way. But we look back at that time, those 2 years, and all the people we met and worked with, and the things that were happening in the church and also with the mission, as a great privilege to have served both of those entities during that time and all the people that were involved. So it was a great 2 years, and we're grateful to the Lord for the privilege we had of serving there in that way. and then look forward to what would happen after that. And boy, did a lot of stuff happen after that.